Coming up on Fox 40 Morning News, we're live at 7 with today's top stories. And an insurance agent accused in a state corrections kickback scheme is expected to enter a plea today. Details on today's court appearance straight ahead.
And more money is going to the state's decaying infrastructure. How much and when repairs will begin, coming up in a live report at 7:05.
Still dealing with the clouds this morning across central Mississippi, but for some of us, a little bit of sunshine to start off the day, mainly south of the I-20 corridor. And where we go from here, well, that's still a little bit uncertain as far as the cloud coverage is concerned. Some of us underneath the clouds throughout the day, some of us dealing with sunshine throughout the day. Really depends on where you live. But back into the lower 70s, a bit warmer than what we had for Monday. What can we expect as we head through the rest of the week? We'll have that in your full forecast coming up as the Fox 40 Morning News starts right now.
Fox 40 Morning News. Fox 40 News starts now.
New updates in the ongoing corrections corruption scandal. Good morning, I'm Wilson Stribling.
And I'm Joy Redmond. The final person indicted in the kickback scheme is expected in court today. Fox 40's Marie Ettinger joining us live from the federal courthouse with more. Marie.
Good morning, Joy. Good morning, Wilson. So we're actually talking about Guy Evans. He goes by Butch Evans, and he pretty much plans to just walk himself right into the courthouse today, pleading guilty to charges he hasn't even been indicted on. Evans is an insurance agent allegedly involved in the corrections corruption scheme. That is a huge scandal involving bribes paid to former corrections commissioner Christopher Epps, who for his part will be spending nearly 20 years in jail. 8 other people have already been convicted for participating in shady deals with the commissioner. A grand jury indicted Evans in 2016 on charges of conspiracy and bribery, saying he paid more than $20,000 worth of bribes to Epps for the exclusive right to sell insurance to prison system employees. Remember, he is working in the insurance agency. Evans pleaded not guilty to those charges, and instead he's waiving indictment and pleading guilty to something else, possibly hoping for some sort of plea deal. So that's what we're going to be following today and looking into. You can download the MS News Now app for the latest updates immediately to your phone, or you can check in with us later on msnewsnow.com and in our broadcast, and msnewsnow.com if you want to read about those 8 other convictions that we've had in this case. Live in Jackson, Marie Ettinger, Fox 40 News.
Marie, thanks. And today's most wanted, Brookhaven police need your help finding this person. Edward Wall is wanted in connection to an armed robbery that happened on April 15th at the Dollar General on North Jackson Street. Wall is considered armed and dangerous. Call Brookhaven Police if you know where he is. Developing this morning, former convicts seeking to regain the right to vote say their lawsuit should not be merged with a similar case. There are 2 federal lawsuits challenging the state system for restoring voting rights to people convicted of certain felonies. Plaintiffs in the second case say the lawsuits make different arguments about how Mississippi violates people's constitutional rights. Well, sheriffs from all over the state shared their displeasure with the plan to remove state inmates from regional jails. Department of Corrections Commissioner Palisha Hall wrote letters informing sheriffs that 400 inmates would be sent back to state-run prisons because of a lack of money. Law officers say private prisons in the state are paid over $41 a day to house inmates, while regional facilities earn just over $29.
My count this morning was 260, and right now my per diem is like 2440. So you know that operating at 2440, even if there are a number of inmates, it still creates a problem for us because we have so many infrastructure problems.
Consideration for the deficit in the regionals, it just wasn't there. And so you've heard them today. It's been a long hearing, but you've heard them today say we'll work on it for next year. And so it boils down to funding.
Lawmakers failed to give MDOC $3.6 million the agency requested to house inmates at the regional facilities.
A case is pending with the U.S. Supreme Court that deals with internet sales tax. Right now, companies with a brick and mortar store in Mississippi collect sales tax for online purchases. If the buyer's from out of state, though, they don't charge that tax. If the court overturns the current law, all online sellers may have to collect the tax even for out-of-state buyers. That's something small businesses say would be a burden even with new tax software.
Taxes are kind of scary and complicated no matter what. You want to make sure you're doing it right. And, you know, I'd love to be able to pay our accountant to do everything, but, you know, we don't because we are a small business and we're trying to save where we can. So.
Supporters of a change in the law say it would even the playing field for small businesses because the big e-tailers would also be required to collect sales tax in their state. In an effort to be more welcoming to new businesses, Jackson City leaders announced the Business Entrepreneurs Assistance Team, or BEAT for short. It's made up of people from different city departments who will walk those wanting to start a business through the process of getting licensed. They'll help with permits, zoning, and any other issues that come up. City leaders say in the past, business owners have given up because the process can be frustrating.
We need to offer a process which is more conducive to understanding the competing challenges for getting businesses off the ground, because those communities are in need of new business and new economic development.
If you need help starting a business in Jackson and would like more information about the BEAT program, you can call the number on your screen or pick up a business startup kit at the Hood Building across the street from City Hall. So much needed money is going to Mississippi's crumbling infrastructure.
Fox 40's Ashley Garner joins us with the latest developments. Ashley.
Joy Wilson, $25 million in emergency money has been approved to repair bridges like this one here behind me in Jackson. This is the Moss Creek Bridge off of State Street. It's one of dozens closed last month after failing a federal inspection. Governor Phil Bryant declared a state of emergency and ordered more than 100 bridges across the state be closed because of their dangerous and unsafe conditions. Last month, state lawmakers had approved $50 million in bond money for the local bridge program, but the state couldn't access that money until July. So yesterday, bond commissioners met and voted to issue half of that money right away. An additional $25 million will be issued to the state in July for infrastructure improvements. Now, if you'd like to see a map of all of the bridges across the state of Mississippi that have been closed and could impact your commute while they're being repaired, you can log on to our website, msnewsnow.com. Live in Jackson, Ashley Garner, Fox 40 News.
All right, Ashley, 7:07 now. We turn to the skies. And aren't they pretty? EJ Rivers joining us live from Skycopter. EJ, good morning.
Good morning, Wilson. Yes, indeed, the sky is lovely this morning, especially if you're 55 up near Madison and Canton. Absolutely gorgeous. If you're headed southbound from Madison into Ridgeland and Jackson, remember that the stretch that they're repaving between Old Agency Road and County Line Road, they're working on that overnight, but you need to slow down when you pass through there during the day because debris in the roads, maybe some stuff that might get kicked up, so just slow it down and be careful even though there are no construction crews there. If you see anything, let us know at Skycopter MS on Twitter. This traffic alert is sponsored by Willie Abston, attorney at law. I'm on your side. From Skycopter, I'm EJ Rivers.
All right, EJ, here's a look at some of what we're tracking throughout the hour.
At 7:15, former President George H.W. Bush recovering at the hospital after his wife's funeral. How he's doing right now, coming up. Plus, the immigration battle continues on Capitol Hill. What that means for migrants trying to cross the border when the news continues.